USAA. It's pronounced USAA, right?
All right, we're joined by two great friends from USAA, Rob Bragg from West Point, Bill White from the Naval Academy.
Beat Army.
Army and Navy back together again. Army and Navy over here, Army and Navy over here.
That's right.
We sat with you guys last year at Media Row. We had so much fun together. Great to have you back again.
Good to be here.
What's got you guys fired up about this year's game? Rob, what's got you fired up?
Winning. I've had 364 days just to sulk in defeat. So I am fired up because this is a chance for us to come back and make things right. Go Army.
That's right.
We had a friendly wager last year of the game, and since Navy won, Rob actually had to do the chant that I normally do. He had to actually say beat Army, and this was at work. It was a glorious day last week.
Hurt me to my core.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
It's hard to cover from that.
A man of honor.
And I lived up to his word.
It was televised.
Oh,
I was just on a call with my buddy. He's a Navy nuclear engineer officer, and he goes, "What do you think the score is going to be?" I said, "It doesn't matter. Army's going to win just like they did last year."
Oh,
He goes, "They didn't win." I said, "Yeah, they did."
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
He got real frustrated.
Did you tell him he was down in the nuclear power plant? Wasn't paying attention.
I'm sure it happened. You didn't see it.
Compute.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's dig in a little bit here. What is it that makes West Point unique? What do you think that really sets it apart?
Well, I just think the purpose of West Point, which is obviously to create leaders who go out there and lead in all types of environments. And you think about just what it takes to get through there, and it's probably the same for some parts of the Naval Academy.
Yeah.
The character, intestinal fortitude, and ability to overcome, and those are what we need in our leaders to go out there and perform under duress. And so that's what West Point does. And what also makes it unique, it's in a terrible part of the country. It's hard to get to. Those poor kids are so lonely up there. It's the Hudson Valley.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a special place, and I love the fact that we get a chance to showcase that here at the game.
It was real strategic in like 1770.
It was. Protect the river. Okay, great.
Really
now what?
important.
Yeah.
We got that. Okay,
Yeah, we got
now we're
that.
locked in.
Check.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's done.
Is there a railway or something we should be keeping an eye on? Like what's
No,
happening?
it's the Hudson River. You just take it up there and
Settle in,
right.
boys.
just go
Settle in.
north.
It's good.
And
Put
on
the chain across.
And I love you guys' dynamic because any true friendship should be indistinguishable from hate. From the outside looking in.
That's so funny.
I
gotta
It's
steal that
friendly.
one.
It's friendly hate.
It is.
It's
It
really
comes
hate.
from a foundation.
Was
That's
that
what
a
I've
diss
been.
or was that love?
It comes
I've
from a
been
good
starting
place.
a lot of the talking about there's love and there's camaraderie here, and we start from this foundation of love, and then we do everything we can to break it for the rest of the weekend.
It is pretty funny.
But on the Navy side, what is it that makes and I actually visited Annapolis, and I'll be honest with you, it's the only time in my life I ever wanted to be an officer. It is a beautiful
Well, it is
place.
a beautiful location, surrounded on three sides by water. And Annapolis graduates officers in both the Navy and the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So what's very distinctive about Annapolis is that the wide range of choices that the midshipmen have when they graduate. So if you want to be an elite fighting person, right, join the Marine Corps. Right, every Marine or rifleman, they are elite.
Yeah.
If you want to be a nuclear power officer, if you want to fly fighter jets, you can do that in Navy and Marine Corps. So Navy has quite a wide range of opportunities, and I think what attracted me to the Naval Academy was the number of choices I'd have upon graduation. So that was set it apart for me, and I still stand by that today.
Last year was my first time being an Army Navy game, to watch it in person, to catch the atmosphere, to see the 464s go and the 4 F-18s, which was the highlight of the game. I didn't even see that much flying in combat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's where we're accustomed to leaving it all on the field for the game, right? But there's something about these cadets and these the midshipmen, right, and the West Pointers being willing to leave it all on the line for the country. Talk a little bit about the service mindset of these cadets and what that means.
Well, I love how you frame that, leave it all on the field, because that truly represents why I love the game. When you think about what we're asking people to do, we're asking, you think about average lineman at West Point probably goes about 315.
Mm-hmm.
For the seniors, the day after they start cutting weight till they get down to fighting strength, that same dude will show up at officer basic course 9 months later, weighing 215.
Yeah.
That's a cut right there.
It's because it's more than just about the game, right?
Yeah.
Everyone on the field and everyone in the stands is doing this for more than just the game. Yeah. And that for me is what matters most. So they're gonna leave it on the field because they want to win. for the pride of the service academy and the pride of their service. But the reason why I love the game so much is because what I know it means after the game, when the pads come off, and when those folks are now on to the next phase of life, which is to serve the country.
Every person who serves, has gone through a difficult time.
Yeah.
And this embodies that. So it represents it. So whether you went to college, whether you enlisted right out of high school, however your path into the service was, you then had a very difficult time. It was a crucible experience for you.
Yeah.
And who do you want to fight next to? You want to fight next to somebody who's had that crucible experience.
Exactly.
So this is a representation of that. Yeah. And it represents all the different crucible experiences that people go through in the military.
Yeah, love it.
I think one thing that's really interesting about USAA is how incorporated and invested. And I can see here that it's not, of course, there's a financial, but we're talking about the spiritual investment.
Yeah.
There's commitment to serve. There's commitment to making sure that when you do a job, you do it right. And so, having you guys here, serving, even after we take off the uniform, I think that family support is what really, it's all about. I think that when we get out of the military and we're trying to find that place where we still feel like we're part of something bigger, I think that you guys are a big part of supporting people through that. Can you share a little bit about, the USAA focus on the family and family readiness? Because I think it's something that you guys, not just invest in so many ways.
Well, it goes across many parts of the spectrum. As employees, we try to hire as many veterans and spouses as we can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So spouse employment is a big deal.
Yeah.
And we've announced recently a program called Honor Through Action, where over the next 5 years, USAA will contribute $500 million, $500 million, $100 million a year to veteran causes. And it's going to help things like family readiness, fighting veteran suicide, spouse employment. You think about moving from one state to another, and there's so many barriers to licensing or getting that next job. Those types of things we care about that. That's our community, right? So we can be a voice in Washington, D.C. and in state houses around the country for things like that, for military children, because military children move from school to school. So helping them make sure that they can get into a good school, and making sure that every local school where our bases are located are good schools. Like, we advocate for that, and we highlight it.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that I love is that we talk about taking care of our own, and that's what we're here for, right? And you'll see more of that during the game. But what I love is, to the point Bill just made, not only do we take care of our own through the employment, but we also make sure that's part of learning your way into being a USA teammate. Even if you didn't serve, your core philosophy, your core principle is every single day when you engage members, and both Bill and I lead large teams of people who do that every single day. It's open the call with name and rank to make sure we recognize who you are and what you've done. We do everything we can to serve you in that interaction with advice, counsel, coaching. If you need some protection, we got that for you. It'll be closed with thank you for your service, because we want people to walk away from that interaction knowing that there's a company that cares about them as a member and not just as a customer. And I think that's the thing that makes not only the game special, but makes being part of USA special as veterans.
I would be remiss if I didn't jump in and say you're also huge supporters of the American Legion.
Yep.
And that to me personally, as a Legionnaire and to our alphas, that means a lot. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to ask a little bit about, you kind of talk about the ethos of the brand, but if you reflect on it, what does it kind of mean to you personally? And I want to tee it up just a little bit, because the veteran landscape, especially in the veteran brand space, has grown and emerged so much, especially with our generation starting to create kind of veteran branded organizations. But USAA, I mean, that is premier, that is the staple, and it is kind of the most renowned example of how to conduct business, how to honor military and service and families in the profession. But you just said a really big number, talking about the things that are really meaningful to our community right now, and really kind of setting the standard with that as well. So that is what a brand is about. But for you personally, has there been a moment in time where USAA just really showed up in your life in a meaningful way?
Or I'll just start from the beginning. Yeah. I was at Annapolis, and my dad didn't serve. He was born without sight in his right eye, so he was ineligible to serve. He's an accountant. And I said, Dad, what's kind of the next thing I should do, kind of helped me out. He said, well, you got to get a credit card and build credit. And it's really important. Charge a little money, pay it off every month, build your credit score. And so I asked around. I said, hey, I need to get a credit card. And people said USAA. And that was the origin story for me. And because again, I didn't come from a military family.
Yeah.
But it was instant word of mouth.
Yeah.
And it's been reflected every day since then.
Yeah, for me, it's as a member, I was transitioning from the active Army, and we had a claim on a house that we didn't live in anymore. We were renting the house out, and maybe I didn't have the right coverage, right? And it would have a time when a lot of companies would have said, "Well, if you don't have the right coverage, we don't have you."
Yeah.
And there's always been this philosophy at USAA where we do what we can when we can, and they stepped in and took care of me in a way that would have been devastating to me in that transition time frame. So, I made a commitment at that point in time. If I got a chance to work there, I would, because I believe in not only continuing to give back, but also trying to find ways to give back in a way where you can meaningfully have a meaningful impact on someone who is struggling in life, going through change, going through transition. And so for me, it's like honoring commitments. And it's a broad meaning of the word commitment. It's not just the black and white version. It's we know what it means to serve. We take care of our own, those commitments, the commitments Billy's talking about financially. It's honoring those things in a way where a lot of companies just step away.
That's right. I want to just share a quick anecdotal story as we kind of close out. How the Legion and USA comes together for me personally. I was testifying in a Senate Veteran Affairs Committee in August. And that night when we were coming home, my house got struck by lightning.
Wow. Oh my.
The next day, I had to be at the national convention. Obviously, USAA is the title sponsor.
Yeah.
We walked up and they said, oh, we actually have a claim specialist here. I filed my claim for the lightning strike at the national convention. And before I left and went home, the funding was in the account to be able to do the services.
Yeah.
Do you know what that meant for me to be there trying to do the work while my family was out of power and going on? And I'm getting kind of emotional right now because it just transcends beyond like the talking points. It's meaningful moments that matter. And man, you guys just do such a great job, and you embody that, and you also do it with a smile on your face. So thank you guys so much for what you do, how you represent, and thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to be with you guys again.
Thanks for having us as well, and as a veteran. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And to Rob's point, we take care of our own, and that's what it's all about. It's showing up and delivering when it matters most.
Yeah.
So thanks for having us. We really appreciate the opportunity to share with you, but also you share with us.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Bill.
Can we get you guys to sign?
Yeah, sure.
We gotta
Be Navy.
There you go, baby.